So I thought I'd just do a quick video on general motorcycle maintenance and how to keep your bike running for a long time and looking its best. So before we start, I want you to think, what year do you think this bike was made? I'll give you a quick tour of the condition of it. So there's the paint, front wheel, tank, all kinds of chrome. There you go. This bike was made in 2005, so it's 14 years old, and in my opinion it looks better than a lot of bikes which are like 4 years old. So how do you do it? Well, I'd recommend washing it frequently. Well, not too frequently. I only really wash this bike like 3-4 times a year. If you want to know my routine, I basically use like a car shampoo, then I'll use a fallout remover, which removes like iron particles stuck in the paint or the chrome, and you tend to get a lot of brake dust and tiny particles off the brake disc, which just embed themselves into the paintwork and the wheels. So a fallout remover will get rid of that. After the fallout remover, I'll rinse the bike again and then use a clay bar or a clay mitt, I tend to do. Rinse it again, and then I use a sealant / wax called Fusso 99, Fusso 99. Just Google it. It's a really popular sealant. It lasts like up to 12 months, and it's really good at repelling water. So you can use it if your bike has like a screen on the front. You could even put it on that, and it's so water repellent. It's insane. If you want to find out how water repellent it is, just YouTube Fusso 99 water test, and you'll see a guy that's got it on the hood of his car and is spraying a hose on it, and the water just slides straight off. Literally, it's such good technology, and that's what I use. I put it on all the paint, so on here. I even put it on all the chrome, so here, or here, here, even down here, but I'm probably wasting my time doing it here because I think it probably just burns and melts off, especially on the exhaust when it gets hot enough. Ideally, you want a high heat resistant wax for the exhaust, something like, I think there's a wax sealant out there called FK1000, which works and really high temperatures. I think it's called FK1000. I don't know. If you just Google like very high temperature sealant, I'm sure you'll probably find it. I know it's got 1000 in the name, but yeah, that'll be a better product for you to use. Other things, all I can say is in winter, I only use a product called ACF 50. I'm sure most bikers have heard of it. In winter, I won't do the paint. Basically, for winter storage or whatever, I'll clean the bike down and then spray ACF 50 everywhere. So the brake linkages, the levers a little bit, all around the wheels, because they're a bit of a weak point on this bike with regards to rust. So I'll just cover anything metal in ACF 50 or any sort of join with ACF 50 or any switch, like the side stand switch and all that kind of stuff. And I've done that on all my bikes in the past and never had a problem. Come springtime, get your hose out, make a strong concentration of car shampoo in a bucket of water, like make it stronger than you normally would. Get wiping, do the old fallout remover, rinse it all down, and the ACF 50 will come off without too much trouble. Like, this is my first ride of the year. I've just pulled this bike out of storage, cleaned it up, changed the oil, and I've got it in this condition, looking as good as it does now after, I'd probably say 2.5-3 hours work. One thing that's really annoying to clean on this particular bike, which I'm sure a lot of sports bike owners don't have to worry about, is in between the fucking spokes here. It's such a ball ache getting in those areas, but you know, I just can't be bothered doing that. I know some people like polish the spokes themselves and all this kind of thing, but fuck that. It looks good enough in my opinion. So next thing, you're keeping it clean, you're stopping it from rusting over winter. Go on the internet and find out any particular weak points, like I mentioned before, for your particular bike. Like I said, on mine, these rims tend to rust first, so you just got to pay particular attention to these weaker areas. Another area on my bike, obviously, there's a load of wiring in here. For some reason, Suzuki cheaped out on the like rust resistance of the inside of this headlight. So if I take this off, the bowl inside has got a load of surface rust on it. Eventually, over a long time, it'll probably make its way on the outside and start eating away at the headlight itself. So yeah, I wouldn't have known that unless I found it on the internet. Just join a forum for your bike. There's a huge one called Volusia Riders for this bike. So I took that off, sprayed the whole thing in ACF 50, and it's fine now. It's totally under control. And then I guess on all bikes, when you do wash your bike, you want to wash underneath it as well every now and then. Inspect the frame. Like, I tend to wax the frame on mine, but another thing you can do if you're really anal about keeping it clean is you can buy some cavity wax. Just like put on eBay or Google cavity wax, and they're these like aerosol cans with like a really long lasting like wax, which you spray. They're generally used in cars, like you'd spray down the frame rails and the rear cross member, suspension parts, all that kind of thing. I just had some left over because I did that to my car. And you just want to find areas of the frame, like you see the black bit of frame there. Usually there's like a hole where you can stick the long tube up. And what you do, you spray the aerosol down as you pull it out, so it coats the whole inside of the frame. It doesn't hurt to do that. So, yeah, and I guess that's it really. That's all I've really done to look after mine. Yeah, obviously stay on top of your maintenance. One thing I would recommend if you're going to do any major maintenance on an older bike is buy a bolt extractor, because you're probably going to need it. There's a few bolts under the tank and stuff on my bike that were just seized on. I mean, 14-year-old bike. A lot of these bolts have never been undone since the factory, so you know you're going to have some that have seized. But yeah, it's just another thing to bear in mind. And that's it. So yeah, hopefully this has helped someone. Like I said, I'm not even one of those guys that will like wash the bike every week. Like, I know there's a bit of the old stigma out there that cruiser riders wash their bikes more than they ride them, but it's definitely not the case with me. Mainly because the products they use last so long. I definitely recommend Fuso 99 purely for its water repellency. It's just insanely good at it. I'm in no way affiliated with them, by the way. I've just been using it on my car for the past 4 years and on my bike, and it's just incredible. So yeah, I've washed this now. I'll probably do it again maybe in 4 months time, something like that, just to get mainly like bug splatter off the tank and the headlight. And that'll be it. And then come winter time I'll wash it again and then cover the whole thing in ACF 50. Jobs are good in. So yeah, hope this helps.